I think the Bizarre 4.0 public test is great. The game is much more sleek and way more modernized. Of course, it has a lot of bugs and it's a test, so I'm willing to disregard them. However, that doesn't mean it's a fun game either. As much as I love the original Bizarre and have spent countless of hours playing and even maintaining its community wiki. Anyhow, I think this newer version won't capture as much players as its original incarnation. And why is that exactly? No, it's not because the original version was better. Frankly, it's probably worse. The issue is bigger than that. It's how the community as a whole on Roblox plays games nowadays. There's much less emphasis on the social factor and not to mention the chat update Roblox made. People don't really hang out with strangers as much as they used to. But Bizarre is fundamentally a social game like Club Penguin. Combat has always been something that it never excelled at. The balancing was all over the place and honestly, it wasn't refined as something like Your Bizarre Adventure or A Universe of Time, not the old AUT. The newer one, because the old one was just a clone of Bizarre. Yeah. It was always about meeting new people. Every new game you started, every game you join, you see new people around and that you can interact with them, chat with them, and maybe ask for a battle at the football court or basketball court, depending on what update that was in. Like, holy, they changed the map so many times. Or maybe begging for a trade, whatever it is, right? The point is, I believe most people, such as me, stuck around for the hangout aspect. I've made a lot of friends on that game and I really enjoyed it because of that. The things you can actually do in the game on its own are very mundane, boring, and repetitive. You find arrows and need rokas until you get the stand you want. Do quests that consist of doing damage over and over until you meet its requirements. Wait for items that has a slight chance of spawning. Or wait for bosses to spawn and grind them. The new game doesn't have much over that either. You have better combat, sure, but still not as good and robust as the other games currently available. You have fishing now too, but still runs into the same issue as before. It's repetitive and not very interesting. At least with the old game, people waiting for bosses can wait around in circles, dancing, and have a conversation. People grinding for stands and go around begging, as unfortunate as that is. But hey, it made so much memories, right? Like, people have this meme, or at least back in the day, I'm not sure if they still do it now, of people begging for Rokas or Stan Arrow. Well, not Stan Arrow, I think it's just all Roka, please. Like, that made such an impact on the community, right? In essence, socializing is there, the mundaneness of the actual game is being covered by it. Now with people being less incentivized to chat, and with Roblox, as much as they like to say that, hey, we're a social experience, it doesn't really happen that much anymore. That's why games now have things like matchmaking and whatnot to, cut the time to stick around with other people and just get straight into the meat of the game. But you can't get into the meat of the game if the meat of the game is like very bland, right? Like unseasoned chicken. The seasoning of a Bizarre is the socializing and it's gone. So you don't really have any motivation to stick around now, do you? No one to drool over your awesome stand. No one to stick around to tell their life stories while people on the sideline random kill other people as if it's a average Monday in London. It's just an empty island with people minding their own business without saying much of a word, and that's really it. I wouldn't be surprised if people start dropping the game sometime soon when their nostalgia fades away. Bizarre is one of the most, if not the most impacting JJBA game on Roblox of all time, alongside with Project JoJo. And it's pretty sad that it isn't as prevalent as before. But do I hope it still somehow makes a comeback? Absolutely. I think if the game developers, who are very passionate I might add, improve its core gameplay like combat and make the grind itself feels more rewarding and less repetitive, I think it has a very good chance of making it back. For now though, I think the game is far from enjoyable on its own, and I truly hope that this public test is just the bottom baseline and not where the full product will end up around.